Beautiful beings of the universe, welcome to now. I'll start this video with the lovely Lord Ganesha. And as today is the lunar eclipse and a beautiful moon day, so it's about good affirmations and good self belief in yourself. Because naturally, with all of these demonic energies dancing and trying to sabotage you, trying to talk lies about you, trying to gossip, and all of that to sabotage you, it's important that you do not believe those liars. The lies which completely comes out of jealousy, out of hatred. And that's why you find all of these copycat energies around you. And all these demonic gang stalkers who just come straight in front of you to put up with their ugly street shows. So it's very essential that you go ahead with the exact opposite belief in your own system, which is about self affirmation, which is about you're beautiful, you're divine, you are intellectual. So let them not slow you down by them trying to say that, oh, you're going too slow. They have no idea that the way they made their ways, demonic ways of fast growth, is all going to crumble and collapse in this new timeline shift. So you do not have to worry about their vision of you, because people are all the time projecting. If they are calling you ugly, that's because they themselves feel ugly inside themselves. If they're calling you're too old, that's because they are actually too old and they are already close to their graveyard. That's why they want to project their failures onto you. If they're trying to call you're too slow or you're a fool, that's exactly their own replica. If they're trash talking about you, trying to tear down your character, because they just surveillance you and you feel like you've got no privacy, which is the natural effect of being gang stalked, which is you do not have your own privacy, which is about them trying to read your mind, which might be through technology. Like Google knows what you're thinking all of the time. And that's why if you're thinking something, even about cooking something, and the moment you open your phone, you see the exact same dish. And you would have spoken about that to nobody, but you find the same exact dish being popped up on YouTube or on Instagram. And you can do a research on this. There are tons of videos and articles on the internet wherein everyone is being surveillanced, everybody is being watched, even your thoughts. And the agenda is just so that they can control you. The agenda is just to control the masses so that they stop thinking for themselves. And that's why they would be doing all of these smear campaigns and lies and gang stalk the one who is different, the one who chooses to use their own mind in their own way, somebody who chooses love and peace and joy. And they do not like you for that. So they're going to call out all the opposites of what you're not, because all of that is precisely their own projections that they put onto you, because they hate themselves. Why do they hate themselves? Because they do not have a soul. These are all the shadow beings, the energy vampires. That's why they are part of the Loosh. And that's why they target you, the chosen, because you're connected straight from the source. And you've got that light, divine energy inside of yourself. So these demonic beings, they basically try and do all of their demonic stuff so that they can project their fears, their insecurities, because they are so jealous of you, because they are so much terrified of your light. Because in this new timeline, the godly energies is going to work out, and whoever is playing by the demonic playbook, they would not survive. So the whole agenda of these negative games that the opposition plays out, the dark energies plays out, is so that they can contain you, so that you become scared and you do not come out and tell the truth. That's why they have to do all of these lies, these gossips, these ugly rumors that they spread about you, so that you believe and somehow you become terrified and fearful of their lies. And that's why you stop speaking the truth. You stop creating the music. You stop being the artist because they are so fucking jealous of you for that. Because you have your own creativity. You have got your own sharp skills. Because you exactly know that you here's the thing, you do not create for popularity or for getting accolades from somebody else. You do all of this for your own self-expression. You're all about being yourself. And not only are they watching you, they're also controlling you. These gang stalkers, they want to control you. They want to control your life in a way like a puppet. So they basically intentionally put up the stuffs on the street or at the gym or at the shopping center, grocery store, or at the library. They would specifically put it straight in front of your eyes. And then it's like a sign that this is your next thing. This is the next book you're going to read. And you feel very much like, well, how do they know? Like because they are just using the technology to watch you. And mind you, technology is not the problem. Like technology on its own is just the algorithm. But who is the person? Who are the people who are actually behind that? Who are consuming your data? Because of the fact that all of us are surveillanced, but who is using that information? The evil people on the top who want control over your life, who want to make you feel like you're a puppet. They decide for you what you can or what you cannot do. And you feel like you do not have enough control, because if you're living in a society, in a setup where everything else is being controlled by people on who have the power over you, who can collect your data, who can steal your privacy, who have all of the access to every single thought that you have, who have access, who's just follow you wherever you go outside. And you feel like this is complete evasion of someone's freedom. Probably all of this, if you see at a higher level, at a spiritual level, I saw somebody had this similar experience, and this person talked about that on Quora. So I saw a different sort of a response from another user, and that person said that, well, you can also look at it in another way, wherein this is a chance for you to have no thought in your mind. So from the spiritual level, it could be like you just watch your thought. So you watch your experience and thought as you have just encountered that nasty experience where people were making fun of you or just laughing at you, or just trying to ruin your day by just something which is not so pleasant, trying to cut you off, or just laughing for no reason, calling by your name. So why do they do all of these gossips? Calling your name is because they want you to shrink into that mentality that, oh, I'm being watched, so I should be fearful. Oh, these dumbasses are talking about me, so I should be fearful. No, you can see to it through another lens. It's about you should live absolutely free. This is your call for freedom. For whatever is not in your alignment to your high vibration must eventually fall down. Because probably you were trying to play safe by being around these energy vampires who feed on your energy. And you thought that you needed the system, but that's not true. A broken system can never ever support you. So do not be attached to the things that would fall off as you eventually raise your vibration, because this is a timeline shift. And if you do not let go of the things that is not serving you, but you are attached to because of fear, being in that toxic, ugly set of people that you are with, just because you're too attached, because you do not know how to face yourself all by yourself alone, that's going to bring you further fall, a lot of failure in terms of you would fail in your own eyes. That is the biggest upsetting thing that you can do to yourself. And to the external world, you might be called or tagged successful or happy, but you know for sure that is not what is true. And to the external world, somebody who's woke, somebody who's awakened, is going to be tagged as stupid or dumb or a fool. All lies. Just don't believe any of that. Do not believe an iota of that. The great genius philosopher William Blake, artist, he was called crazy. Can you believe that? And the more intelligent you are, the more genius you are, they're just going to call you crazy and insane because they lack the vision. They lack because they do not question the things as you do, because you are awake and because you see things that this is a messed up world, and you have the courage because you see things as they are, and then you put up the question. But what these demons do is they just take up the order. So they have been told to gangstalk, they have been told to get against someone. That is the herd mentality. So everybody starts gossiping about you because that's what they have been paid out for. And they're never going to question why. Because if they're doing this to you today, that might be done to them as well tomorrow. And that's exactly going to happen. It's very much like in a job. If they target some individual and make up some false thing and then get them fired, and all these people who were so involved in getting that resource fired, the next turn is theirs. So it's good that you left that job before and you eventually moved out to the right place that belonged to you, where you could feel safe, where you could say, yeah, at this place my intelligence, my creativity, my ideas are being heard. I'm being more accepted. Whereas those people, those clowns who went against you, guess what? They thought that their job was safe and secure. Right after a month, they got fired too. So understand this, that there is no security. There's no security whether you are playing by the demonic playbook or whether you are playing by the divine light playbook, because even the saints died, even the gods and goddesses died when they were in the physical body. So you're going to die. Just like the energy vampires and the demons. It's just about playing by your side. If you're a person of light, then you're just called to be heroic. You must stop fearing. And it's easier said than done, because you might think, I have felt this feeling of fear inside of me so many times, and it's so unpleasant. But every time you feel the fear, you cannot ever get rid of it, because fear is what keeps you alive in so many ways. If you do not have the fear of a tiger or a snake that comes in front of you, you might die. So fear keeps you alive. That tells you that you should run or you should climb that tree if you're in a forest. Fear has its use case, but not beyond a certain point that it limits you. It stops you from taking action. Fear is the point wherein it tells you that probably this thing is exciting, but there is fear because you find all of these roadblocks on your way through gang stalking or people trying to stop you or just stealing your ideas. Like I was making a song the few months back at a studio, and at the same place there comes exact same demonic witches, and they scream and sing so loud in the studio next door that it was getting so difficult for me to record, and that completely ruined my mood. And the producer that they gave me was such a stupid ass, and just they do not have the enough skill, and I just had to pay for 2 hours session, and I was not even happy with what it came as. So that's how these energy vampires and witches steal your ideas. They do not have intention of making music, or they do not have intention of creating anything. All they want is to sabotage you. These neighbors who gossip about you, lies, they have got no intention of growth in their own lives. Your toxic workplace where people just gang stalk, and the moment you enter your office, they just start talking about you. They start copying you, the way you speak, the way you move, talking about you on the work that you did. It's not because they're trying to improve you. It's not because they have some good intention for you. The reason is they are so jealous of who you are because you just mind your own business. You go to office, you do your work and socialize where it's applicable, not beyond useless means, and then you just come home. That's all you do. And they hate you for your because you are so straight. You just mind your own business. So these gang stalkers at work in your community and whosoever has been paid to all of these places that you go to, even the cafes and shops or whatever. So all that is so that you live from a space of fear. They want you to kill your kill your desires. So whatever desires you have, that I want to make this happen, I want to create that, they just want to ruin all of that. They want you to be so dead ass tired that you cannot even feel that, oh, should I do something? These energy vampires, these demons are not just playing out these games out of no reason. And that's why they copy you. Because you are basically teaching them how to live. You are teaching them you're the source of light because you are connected to the divine truth. They would intentionally send out old and ugly people in front of you trying to make you look like, oh, see, you are so pathetic. And all of these things they do, then they would just send out ugly animals and birds just to put fear in your head that, look, this is fearful. These birds are scary. Fear them. That is what the demonic energies do. Try to put fear in your head. Or even in the apps that you use, they would start sending out all the misleading messages. Basically, all of that be bullying to someone. Even in the name of success and courage, they would say, like for example, I saw an ad today on a T-shirt in the app that says, it's okay even if you're going too slow. And there was the image of a snail or some very slow animal trying to show like you're going too slow and your actions do not matter. So you get all of these ideas from just everywhere because that's what they're trying to feed you with loads of negativity. And why they do that, especially to you, the chosen? Because you know that this whole thing is a lie. And they want the fire inside of you to die. And they would just play out some stupid, silly games. Like wherever I go, because I talk in my videos that I'm the fire element, wherever I step out, no matter where I go, I just see these fire rescuers. This is a way to mock at you. Like, you fool, who do you think you are? And all of their system bullies. They would intentionally gangstalk you and try to make your experience so disgusting at the gym that you would not want to go there. Because all of these people would gangstalk together, 40, 50 of them, or the whole of the people at gym, everyone. And they will just start laughing at you, mocking at you, so that you must get terrified before you move to even change the gym. And I had to do that so many times because my experience they made so violent, so ugly. And the same thing they did even at the swimming pool. They all of these demons, they have been told that the moment you enter the chosen, they want to make your experience so miserable, despite the fact that you have paid. And ideally, you should sue them for that. But how would you do that? Because in that sense, again, you're going to go ahead to the higher authorities, and they're all part of this. So Just move out of that environment. That is the best thing I can tell you. There's no point escalating things. There's just no point going to anyone for saying, this is wrong. Can you fix this? Because they are all involved. Because this is basically a fight between the light and the dark. And when the entire system is like so dark, so black, so ignorant, so much working on corruption, you must not have hope for anything. If you feel that that place you're going to doesn't add value to your experience, it doesn't enrich your experience, just remove yourself from there. Just don't go to those places where you find all of these energy vampires. And I had this happen so many times. I would go to these swimming pools, no matter which swimming pool I've gone to, they would intentionally send out people who are just watching you like an eagle all the time. Or on the next lane there would be some retarded person who's swimming and making lots of noise. Just somebody who's literally coughing all the time in the pool. Completely disgusting, and you cannot even have a say because all of that is intentionally, it's all planned the moment you enter the premise. The moment you enter any of the space, it just gets spammed with all of these gang stalkers. So you must not fear. What they're trying to do is they want to put fear in your head so that you should be thinking, oh, how am I supposed to do this and that? And they would be sending all of their disgusting mockingbirds to follow you, who sound pathetic and disgusting. Because they want to show you that this is who you are, this is how you sound like. You're like that stupid silly bird. That's that dumb birds that they have. Or that scary, ugly sounding kookaburra. This is how a kookaburra sounds, by the way. And I'm a very good bird mimic too. And they do all of this on purpose. They intentionally send out all these kookaburras right at the moment you step out, or these demonic birds that they have, because they themselves are demons. And that's why they have to have all of this. All is witchcraft. All of this is witchcraft. And this psychopathic birds that they have, these predatory birds and animals that they send out after you, or some sick old man who would just walk so close to me. I'm like, what the fuck? Grandpa, just make some distance. I was at the park today and there's a couple, old grandfather and a grandmother. I was looking so sick, and he was intentionally with his wife walked so close to me, like literally touching my shoulder. And they do this, all of these sick people, or somebody who's so skinny, like skeleton. They would send out such sort of people trying to make you look like you are so skinny. Nah, not believing that. You're perfect. You are just awesome. You're divine. You're a goddess. You're beautiful, and they're jealous of you. Plain and simple. They can never ever stand somebody who's so woke and lit with light. And that's why they want to do all of these ugly games, sending out disgusting sounding birds so that you lose your interest in whatever creative thing that you have. All of these attacks are only for that reason, so that they can bring you down vibrationally. So that they can keep on sending you attacks day after day for years altogether, so that you also become dead in the soul just like them. Watch out. And that's why everyone in the community plays out the same ugly game. But well, this is the timeline shift. And everybody who is demonic, who's anti God, would get destroyed. They're not going to get saved anyhow. Their money would not save them. When the death and misery and disaster strikes the entire planet, nobody's going to save you. But somebody who walks in the light of truth, who's living by the universal laws of goodness, of truth, of beauty, of living in love. Those are the chosen ones, and they would be protected, they would be saved, so that in the new world order, there would be truth, there would be justice. And today on the way, I also saw two cars. One had the number plate on their number plate 8888 written, and another car that had on their number plate written 7777. So you see all of these synchronicities as well of angel numbers, which shows you that you're on the right path and you're growing spiritually. To this, I want to sound the Tibetan singing bowl. So do not fear, no matter what they do, no matter what amount of lies they do, or whatever, however far your life seems, that how far am I going to keep on fighting like this? How far am I going to fight the evil? Because look at this. Whenever the hero has to slay the evil giant, unless and until the encounter has not happened, and the hero didn't truly slay the demon, he would not be called the hero. So don't fear that how am I supposed to have the courage to face this giant monster? Because there are also so many groups of thousands, and probably everybody's against you. And you might feel this is just getting too much for me. But you are put in that position for a reason. So at the right time, you get the energy, and you should not question how am I supposed to do all of that? How am I supposed to take that massive leap of faith? That seems so much dangerous. That seems so risky. Because when the time is right, you will have to do that. Either the situation will go so anti of you that you do not have a choice. You either do it or die. It's a do or die situation. So don't fear. Don't fear that. Because anyhow, you are mortal. And you would die anyway. Just like the demon. Demons die and angels die. But you would die as an angel, and the demon would die as a demon. Because you are the child of God. And they are the child of evil. Whatever evil eye they try to send your way, this evil eye protector, or the chanting of the god's name, Radha, or Lord Hanuman, who's the greatest protector from evil, who would give you a lot of strength. And sometimes your faith in God might also get shaken, like, God, if you're really there, then why don't you just come and wipe over all of this negativity, all of these energy vampires who just want to make the planet so much out of balance by their demonic dark energies. So God tells you, just have patience. Have patience to go through every single day. Because these demons, these energy vampires just want to break you by spirit every single day by sending you all these spiritual attacks. What is gangstalking? It's a spiritual warfare to break your soul. If they had to kill you, they would have just shot you in a day years ago. But they don't do that. I've watched lots of videos on gangstalking, and I saw that people have been gangstalked since their birth because their parents were gangstalked too. And they've been gangstalked for so many years, 20 years, 15 years, and there's no stopping to that. So don't let that stop you from doing whatever it is that you want to do. Though you might feel drained because all of this affects your psyche somewhere. Like the moment you step out, you are just being watched, followed, tailgated everywhere. You have no privacy of your own. People standing so close to you, just brushing past you as if you're not there. As don't you see I'm sitting here? Am I a ghost or something? Make you look like you're a ghost, though actually they are the ones who are ghosts. They are the ghosts because they do not have a soul. some demon who wants to raid over your privacy and watches you 24/7 all the time and makes fun of your private space and time. This is disgusting. This clearly shows that these are the people from the streets. Just living in big houses and driving fancy cars doesn't make you somebody of standard. These are all the demons, and they shall fall straight down to the center of the earth. Whereas you, the chosen, you have got lessons to learn. These demons, these energy vampires come in your life so that you have got to do the work, your inner work. Now, I know that pretty much for myself. Why these demons come is so that I do my inner work. So these gang stalkers are basically my homework. They give me homework. So I come home and then I do my homework. Because many times they are also sending out signals to me, like, which I do see that is right. Like sometimes they just send the signal out. Like I've been reading this book of emerald tablets of thought, Egyptian mythology, and then there comes a video on my YouTube recommended algorithm that what is the smart way of studying a book, which I completely didn't ask, and I don't think I have to ask YouTube what is the effective way to read a book. I know how to read a book. And I read it my I just read it my way. I will take my time. But there comes this video in front of me that says, stop reading like an idiot. So I was like, this is as if the internet is talking straight to you. It's so much one to one. That's what Google is surveilling you too. And all of us. Then I clicked on Quora and I found out similar experiences wherein there's a man who was thinking about an art painting which has sun and the moon, and he did not speak about this to anyone. He just thought about this in his mind. He did not speak about this to anyone verbally. And the next thing, he opens his phone and he sees in Etsy recommended page for him an art that contains sun and moon pictures. So he was like, how does Etsy know that this is the art I've been looking for? So your mind is already being read. They know what is it that you want through your feed or your search or whatever. If you say it's based on your search history, on how on your pattern recognition that AI has done on you, this is your pattern of your musical taste. This is your pattern in clothing. This is your pattern in the sort of suburbs you want to live, on the vacations that you want to make. So you get more privacy. Now you must learn to live in this. If there is a problem statement, how are you going to solve that when the powers are just too big outside of you? So Viktor Frankl talks about this in his book, Man's Search for Meaning. If you cannot change your external situation, then you must learn to reform internally, wherein you are not giving your power externally so that they could control you. Whatever lies they talk or whatever laughter they laugh on you for no reason, just to get a reaction out of you, just to bring you down vibrationally, to ruin your day. Don't give them that power. And you might feel emotional and start to cry over humiliation. And if you're an empath like me, probably you're emotional. And if you're a human, you'll be emotional. Only an energy vampire has no emotion. If you're a real human with a soul, you will cry. And crying is awesome. Crying cleanses you of the toxins in your body, which come from your mind. Crying is a great cleansing process. But the society lied to you and it made you look like if you're crying, you're weak. No. You're crying because you have got high emotional intelligence, because you can clearly say this is wrong and this is right. You have a sense of intuition, a guiding compass inside of you that tells you this is too evil. How could people be just outrightly doing crime? There's something in you that knows this is not right. But the demons, they're going to clap and celebrate when they target someone else, when they all just come together and try to destroy someone's life. These demons are going to laugh. But you, because you're a human, you would never ever do that. And you will think, why would someone do this? And this could be done only by somebody whose soul has been taken, who hates themselves. And when you have made somebody so blind spiritually, who does not have a heart, who does not have vision, that's when they can take on these acts of violence. This all is violence, targeted violence towards somebody else. And this all is not new. This has happened throughout the lifetimes of ages, throughout the history. One set of tribe trying to destroy the other set of tribe because they're different. And people cannot just stand the differences that, okay, you can be different than me. Can you just respect that? No. People don't want to respect that. They want to destroy you for the fact that you are different. Because your way of eating is different, because your way of life is different, because you sound different, because your skin color is different, because you are somebody who's too woke, and we don't like you for that. You're somebody who's too intelligent. Can you just keep quiet? And that's why they would suppress or ban your videos. Or they would start talking lies about you to get everyone against you. Or they would go on smear campaigns, all lies about you. And when you call up to the police or to the system who are supposed to be giving justice, they would say, no, 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 it's okay. I think you're just overthinking. We have not heard any complaints. It's all right. Just chill, relax. Ha 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 ha. Though that be ruining your day every single day. And you learn to live with this. And all of that was meant only for you, not for the other demonic ones. Though eventually that is also not true. Even if you are a demonic person, there are other demons who are there to get you. Your competition is one demon against somebody else who's darker than you. So you is somebody who's already living in fear. And that's why these people want to bring fear into your mind. And eventually, all of this would come to this thing like you want to live in this world to enjoy, but life gives you so much of difficult times and situation that you just question where is the enjoyment in this? There's so much of suffering. And that's what Buddha said. Four noble truths. The first one being life is a suffering for everyone, no matter who you are. And all we can try is to make it much more interesting today. If I can be happier today, or at least reduce my suffering, which is mentally, of course, or raise my frequency. But coming to the laws of the universe, it is clear that whatever it is that you are trying to enjoy, you must undergo an equal and opposite amount of pain. So if you want to live happily in a society which is sick, you must put up with the lies of the society. Because if you want that pleasure of the comforts, you're also going to pay a price for that. Whatever is it that you want, the swing of the pendulum to the right is the same swing of the pendulum to the left. So at the center is your neutral point, and the right goes your plus your achievements, and in order to get your plus x percentage of achievement, you must suffer that minus x percentage of suffering, because nothing comes for free. So while the demons want to laugh at you, making you look like, oh, poor you, it's only you that is suffering, and they are not, that's a lie. Because you, being a spiritual seeker of truth, you know that everybody who's born suffers. So you just let them do, you just let them be who they are. And you be you. You're called upon to speak the truth. You're called upon to use your throat chakra, because that's why you were born for. You are a warrior of light. You are the fire element. You are the truth. You are the purifier mode on the planet. And that's why they want to break you down every single day through their disgusting street shows. Or even the feeds on your apps, your shopping apps, or on your social media apps. All of this just being targeted to you so that you give up. But you are not here to give up. You might fail, you might fall, but you would get back up again. Because that's who you are. You're a goddess. You're someone made of light. Now that doesn't mean that you do not fail. That doesn't mean that you do not cry. That doesn't mean that you do not have pain, because you're a human. And being human means that you're going to embody both of these experiences of success and of failure. So if you fail 4 times, fifth times you'll win. If you fall 4 times, sixth time you will get up. Because these two are actually not opposites. These two are just contrast of each other. And without the failure, you cannot get your success. Without the fall, you cannot learn to get up. Without them slandering your image, you cannot reach to the higher states of respect, which eventually they all do respect you, but they slander you out of fear because they have been told to. So you definitely do see the lies and the truth through that lens. And all is one and one is all. So eventually you also realize, who are you fighting? Because the external demons are just a projection of you, of your own mind. Because you wanted this fight, because you wanted to feel your worth, that I'm worthy. I'm worthy of the war, of the strength that I feel after I defeat the enemies. So you created this war. So I would read out some excerpts from Nisargadatta Maharaj's book, I Am That. The true teacher is one's own self. He is the supreme teacher. He alone can take you to your own inner God, your own inner goal. And he alone meets you at the end of the road. In the sense that we all know what we need to do, but still we feel if there's somebody else who can guide me to do this or to do that, then I would be more aligned, because I always respect others when they tell me to do something. But when you set a task for yourself, you do not do that, because you do not respect yourself like how you would respect your boss. So if your boss tells you that tomorrow you should be in office at 9 a.m., then you would definitely prepare yourself a night before, and you would be in the office at 9 o'clock. But if it was your personal work, you think it's okay. It's not that urgent. If you set a task for yourself, you would say it's okay. I can do that later. But if it's somebody else who seeks a help from you, hey, can you please do this for me by today? Then you're absolutely, yes, I'll do that. Not because you want a sort of a pat on the back from someone else, or you want to win their trust, but just something in you that just says, yes, I want to help you, because you're a giver. You want to make you want to make people believe in humanity, so you do your work to your utmost best skills, whatever it is that you're doing. Now, that does not mean best to other standards, but you do the best that you think is right. You do the best to your abilities. The main problem, as I see to it, is about duality, because you also want to, when you're given too much of comfort, when everything that you want comes so easily to you, have you realized how you don't feel so much challenged? Like, you do not feel, you want an interesting level challenge which you want to overcome. If everything was just given so easily to you, you would get bored. It's like life is so much like a game. If the game level is so easy, you get bored. And if it's too difficult, you're scared to attempt it. So you want a challenge level for yourself which is somewhere in the middle, which also tests you, which also tempts you, that you want to make an attempt. But also, it should not be that much complex that the very first step, taking that very first step, makes you think 10 times. And eventually, even if a task is too complicated, initially it must start small. It must be easy and simple to begin with. Because nothing can directly achieve to its complexity level without it having started from a very basic 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you must start from the basics. You must keep whatever you're doing simple. Simplicity is the language of the genius. And you must make whatever you are creating, whatever you are doing, whatever you are speaking, whatever you are thinking, keep it clear. Because ambiguity is lack of awareness. It's lack of being able to zoom in the light of awareness on that thing. And the moment you bring in that light of awareness, that's when that complex thing tends to. Now, basically, you can zoom in and you can break it down. So, before, if that piece was so difficult, you just break it down to sections and then you take it section by section. Very much like cooking, like while you're cooking, or if you see somebody who's doing their land ready for farming, so they do it in sections. They first of all take the entire piece of land and then divide it, and then they start putting the seeds in layer by layer, and then make this part of the land ready today. Then next day, that's the next lot of the land, and they keep it ready for the growth of the crop, or the flowers that they have planted, the seeds that they have put in the soil. Eventually, all of this talks about developing a witness attitude. And you will find in your own experience that detachment brings control. So don't try to have control over your enemies. Don't try to have control over how dare they disrespect me? How dare they make fun of me? Because there's no you. There's no I that gets triggered, but that does feel the contraction, right? What is fear? It's a contraction in your body. It's a contraction when somebody laughed at you or made fun of you, because there is that ego in you that feels threatened, that feels attacked by the attacks from the demons outside. And you want to just keep yourself safe. But all of these attacks just makes you realize that this thing of I, which I call myself as I, and that's what they want to break it, because that your I, you tend to think that as a will, and you wonder how could they take away my will? They cannot take away my will. And then you come home inside of yourself and you question, but what is my will? What is it that I'm truly trying to do, that I give the power to someone else to say that they are trying to stop me? Because truly, if you have your own will and you decide that I must go in this very path for myself, nobody would stop you. But the question is, are you ready to go all in? Because that might mean a lot of hard work, that might mean a lot of sacrifice, and all of that is a lot of inner work, which is not easy. It's not easy to get over laziness. It's not easy to get over fears. It's not easy to control your own shadow side. It's not easy to get over greed, to have control over your appetite. Like I watched the video of a great Russian girl, and she was talking about how she has not eaten and drunk water and no food and no water and no sleep for 2.5 years. And she talks so wisely about this thing that food you're basically taking because you feel lack of love. And she's a being of light and she doesn't eat, she doesn't drink water, she doesn't sleep. And she's so much full of energy. She can run 10 kilometers barefoot every single day. And there are some yogis in India who do the same, just living on the sunlight. They don't take any food, they don't take any water. Some of the yogis don't even breathe. And that got me realized because I generally take 1 or 2 meals a day. And I know very well that I'm not hungry, but I just eat by habit. Not just by habit because I want to enjoy the taste, but when my taste doesn't, uh, when my taste bud feels like I'm not able to have the taste of that thing so much how I used to relish before, then I think why eat at all? And I don't think that I feel hungry. So actually, I can, if I'm in a situation where I don't have to eat for 4 days, like if I'm put in a desert, probably you will have to. Because if the situation asks you that, if you're put in a Volva type of situation, then you would realize that your body is capable of so much more. You can be without food, you can be without water, you can be without sleep. But sleep is like death, it's like suicide. People sleep a lot because they do not want to wake up and face the challenges of every single day of living, which is so full of challenges and threats. So people succumb to sleeping and call that, oh, 8 hours of sleep is very good for you. I sleep a lot because I also want to feel comfortable, and sleep is a comfortable space where you do not have to do the problem solving. You do not have to face your fears. But being awake in your waking hours, you've got a lot of work to do. You only eat and drink because you want to feel fulfilled, because there is an empty ghost inside of you that tells you, even though you're not hungry, it tells you to go and buy food. It tells you need this and that. You need none of that. Because your true essence being a human is about being a giver, is about helping others, is about uplifting humanity. But you are sold to this lie that no, you should do business for the sake of making money, for the sake of stealing from others. See, that's the idea. Like, who's a good businessman who could make more profits? And this is a lie. A good business is all about serving so that you serve the rest of the masses. The main agenda being love, that you help others out of love. And in return, they help you out of love. And for this transaction, there is this thing called as money. And in the previous times, before money came into existence, there was this barter system. So somebody would grow fruits and somebody else would grow vegetables, and then they would exchange. Somebody would teach a group of people yoga exercises, and somebody else would train them how to write good calligraphy. And now all of that shifted to money. Or in this day and age, everything would go digital, which is the case anyhow. No cash. But the entire agenda of all of this is based on helping the humanity so that you help someone else. But in a world like this where you have to completely deal with the challenges, which is also part of your shadow, which is your shadow. And that's why every soul takes birth on the planet so that you learn. Earth is a training ground. And you go through all these series of tests so that you, given the test, and you suffer and you learn. But all of that suffering is the purification of your soul. That's what this book says in Emerald Tablets. And that's why studying never feels nice, because studying is not just about studying, it's also about applying that in your daily living. And by nature, if you see, taking always feels easy than giving. Being a giver is always a thing which we made it look so complicated. In the Diamond Sutra of Buddha, it says very beautifully about Dhanya Prajna Paramita. And that is the Diamond Sutra. That means you give. And being a giver doesn't mean you have to only give in money. Though, of course, you can do money donations too. But a giver might be in the form of even, you can even smile. And your smiling can be a gift. You can even spread a good message. You can even read the teachings of Buddha. That could be a giving. You could spread the beauty of being a human, like a real human, not like a zombie, not like an energy vampire. That is taking. Energy vampires, what are they doing? They are the takers. They suck from you your divine energy. And you being the giver, you're always in the light. But of course, you also have your own darkness. That's the yin yang. And that's why the two complement each other. The demons are always attracted to the angels. Why? Because they want to seek the light that the angels have. So this all is about learning to be a giver. Giver of a teaching, giver of a sermon, giver of any form of skill, of any form of thing that makes beauty. That why? Because beauty is love. A bloomed flower is beautiful. It doesn't have to pretend itself and make it ready. But all that the flower did was it did not stop its growth. It did not stop the bloom. But you and me as humans, we tend to stop from our own bloom time because we want to keep ourselves safe. And blooming means you should be open to the harsh sunshine, which might get very hot during summer. And the seed is a soft thing, it's a tender thing when it's a seedling. It might mean being okay with the wild rains. Though the sapling is so small and tiny, it's not turned to a big fat tree yet, but it remains open to it. And a normal human would shrink the matter little bit of challenge starts to come. So we must learn to be okay with this painful or this tough phase of struggle, of suffering. Because Gurdjieff talks about this, the fourth law, and he talks about this like if you could just keep going through that ugly time that you're at, that phase of learning, which you are going to always be in. Don't think that you're just going to learn because you're young and you're in school. Your entire life is going to teach you. So you are all the time checked into the school of life, where the teachers may not be in a real physical teacher format, but life is your teacher. Life teaches you. You do wrong to others, and she slaps you in some hidden ways, in some other situation. So life teaches through karma, and you get what you given. So you must so you must spread goodness, and you must give in beauty and love and courage. You must be a giver, not a taker. And when you come from this energy, no matter of surveillance, no matter of them trying to destroy you is going to affect you. Because you understand that you're not eternalized in this body, but you get eternalized in your actions. You get eternalized through your message, through who you are, through your being. And it doesn't feel pleasant, but you do, because this is what is needed. And you do what's needed. Not because something would give you fanciness or external standards of success, because all of that is a lie. And you tend to live more from your own intuition, that something that makes your internal compass say that yes, I'm in the right direction. That I live my life the way I wanted to, every day, every year, every month, whole of my life. And that's what Osho says. That is a true, shining, beautiful human being. Somebody who has the courage to live at their own terms and not be a coward like like the rest of the people. Not be cowards like rest of the energy vampires who would do everything the same way, who would dress up the same way, who would live the same way, make their houses the same way, who would let no idea of creativity ever enter their lives because they have just lived their whole life in a closed box because of fear of standing out, because of fear of expressing themselves as who they are, because of fear to be themselves, which would bring out a lot of questions and hate from the society. So just be you and stay authentic and stop fearing. And eventually you would realize that after a while when you truly see that your own fear, your own limitation is keeping you stuck, you eventually break out free because something that doesn't serve you any longer and you call that security, you eventually let that go down the hill. So be yourself and love yourself and enjoy every single day. Do the things that sets your soul on fire. Do things that makes your soul dance and be happy. While you're alive, sing your song, do your own dance, and just be yourself. Bye. I'll see you in the next one. Peace and love. Namaskaram.